So this is my second time filming this video. The first one was not bad at all, but I personally had more to say and contribute to the topic. So I was like, I might as well just make another video. It ain't gonna hurt me to talk, you know what I mean? As long as I just give value to y'all, say some things that y'all can learn from, because I know when I talk to y'all, I'm also talking to myself. You know what I mean? I'm learning from my own mistakes and my own experiences at the same time. So, but the topic, as you can see by the title, is your identity aligning with the future you want? And a lot of the times we get a lot of things misconstrued. And before I even get to that, they always say insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. And us humans, we definitely are insane, and we are sane because we have a particular way we like doing things, a certain way of doing things that make us feel comfortable in doing it. And even though it makes us feel comfortable, that doesn't make it right. And the equivalent analogy to that can be how what you want may not be what you need. You may want luxury, you may want to drink soda and juice, but you need water. Your body literally needs water. It's a fact. Even though you might be more comfortable with drinking juice because like the satisfaction and the quenching you get from it, but no, you need water to survive. You know what I mean? So a lot of the times we do things because it makes us feel comfortable, and it aligns with a certain part of us, a certain identity of us, but it might not be conducive to the goal. You know what I mean? It might not get you to the goal. Um, and a lot of the times when we're not where we want to be, it could be one out of the two things. It can be we just gotta be patient, because a lot of times when we don't see movement in the outside world, we think what we're doing is wrong. And everything has its process. Everything has a process to where when a woman is pregnant, it's certain times where you can't tell she's pregnant, but that doesn't mean she's not pregnant. That doesn't mean that she's not her belly isn't growing slowly. You can't see the changes that drastically. You know what I mean? So a lot of times when we think we're not where we need to be, we just need to be more patient and wait for things to unfold in front of us. But in the other end of that is, who are we identifying with? Like, what person are we being? Because we can't expect new things in our life and new experiences, whatever the case may be, but we still identifying with the old version of ourselves, the version who didn't have anything, the version who had a bad relationship with money, a bad relationship with women. You know what I mean? Things like that. And just from my experience, I know that it was times where I said I want something and I thought about wanting a certain life, and I really did mean it. But the most important equation in manifesting whatever you want is your belief system. You know what I mean? Like, do you believe that you really can obtain it? Because a lot of people say they want to be rich. A lot of people say they are going to be rich, but we see people who actually do the small things every day in order to become rich. And the task itself is a connection, you know what I mean, to how you feel about it, because you're not going to put a lot of effort into something that you don't really feel or believe you can do, and vice versa. You will put a lot of effort and you will enjoy things knowing that you can do it, or if you have evidence that you completed it before. So is your identity aligning with the person you want to be? You know what I mean? Is your identity, your old identity, is the things you've gone through in your life keeping you back? And I know for me, that definitely happened to me. I was always wondering why in my business, when I made strides and got large sums of money, while I'm like, yo, why is this shit going away so fast? I was like, yo, why is it like every time I get paid the money, I always need to buy something that I don't really need on a regular basis? Like, you might restock on deodorant or toothbrushes like once every 1, 2, 3 months, depending on what it is. But when I get paid, it seems like that money has to go to that like more often. And it wasn't until not recently, but just me growing every day, I'm realizing as I look back at my life that I was creating that. I was causing the chaos in my life, because before I even got the money, I'm worrying about places to put it and spend it, and I'm worrying about all the things that can go wrong before it actually happened, before it actually materialized. And there's no difference between faith and fear. Faith and fear are literally opposite sides of the same pole. It both contributes, and it both basically involves you believing in something you can't see. And I was putting on my fear in the money because my relationship with money growing up, I know of people who grew up in lower income housing, or just poor people, poor families, or lower income housing, or lower middle class, whatever the case may be. I've know y'all heard parents say, "Oh, money, you think money growing trees? Oh, we can't afford that." And despite hearing that a lot in my life, I still also hold a very optimistic view on life. Like, I don't believe anything can hold me back. I don't believe anything that I went through is going to hold me back from getting what I want. But at the same time, it doesn't really last long because of my old identity, because of me believing money is scarce, because of me believing that money don't grow on trees, or like whatever the case may be. So I'm basically materializing that in my reality through my energy, by my thoughts. You know what I mean? And It's not till I look back at my life and I realize, wow, I start to put the puzzle together. Because hindsight is always 2020. When you look back, it's always easy to see what things meant, why things was there. You know what I mean? So I know with me, I have a bad relationship with money. That's probably my worst relationship with money, and just thinking that it was scarce and wondering why each time I got money, why did it go away just as fast as I got it? Not because I didn't want it, not because I didn't want to be rich, but I truly didn't believe that I could really be rich because my old identity was telling me how scarce and how fickle money was and how it just comes and goes. So even when I did get a large sum of money, like I said, it went away just as fast. And if you can't hold that identity, if you're not aware of like what you're thinking on a regular basis or the person you're being on a regular basis, you still might get what you want, but you might not have it for a lifetime like you're supposed to have it. And I know it's a lot of y'all. Who are you being? What's your identity with women? Because you probably got picked on when you was younger before you fully developed as a man and before you hit puberty, and people calling you ugly, whatever the case may be, or skinny, whatever the case may be. And you've grown up now. You're not that same kid anymore, but in your mind, you believe you're that same kid. In your mind, you still believe that girls really don't see you for who the new version of who you are, and girls are seeing you for the old version of who you are. You know what I mean? Which relationship with money? Like I said, my relationship with money, is your relationship the same way? Do you believe you can actually get rich? Or are you just saying it? Or are you just talking? You know what I mean? So, which relationship with your goals? Do you really believe you can be an entrepreneur? Do you believe you can get the job you want? Or is there doubt? Or is there fear that's going to hold you back? That's going to take that experience away from you if you don't get it in check, get it in line. You know what I mean? So, that's all I really want to say. And I hope that the word I said today just brings value to somebody. Because, like I said, when I talk to y'all, I talk to myself. And as I go back into my life, I know it's a lot of things that I don't regret at all because it made me who I am today. It happened for a reason. It could have happened. It could have happened now. I'm glad it happened earlier. Could have happened now. And when things are getting way more serious, just in life as you get older, you know what I mean, more responsibility, whatever the case may be. But just keep that in mind on a regular basis when you completing things throughout the day. Just be aware of your thoughts and ask yourself, who am I being? Is my identity right now aligning with the future I want, with the life I want for myself and my family? Because who you are and who you be in this present moment, because in the present moment, that's when you're aligned with God. And that's when you give God the chance to give you infinite possibilities rather than you thinking something has to go a certain particular way. The person you are being is who you're going to become.